Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us here at CCSC. Welcome to the channel. We're going to do a quick video. It's going to be all 6 maps, how to start in the Sunset DLC. All 6 of the maps that come with the Sunset DLC, we'll do a quick video on how to start each one of them. We are starting with the very first map on the Sunset DLC package. This is the Azure Golf, depending on where you're from in the world. This is the first map in the package, and as you can see, we've already laid out all of the roads, and we have laid out our power and our power lines. We haven't done the water yet. This being the first portion in the series, I wanted to run through, just in case you've never built a city and you just got the game, and you just downloaded the DLC for Sunset Harbor. So the wind turbines produce 7 or 8, depending on where you're at, megawatts of electricity. As you can see, they cost $6,000. You also have the coal power plant option in the start of the game. It costs $19,000, however, produces 40 megawatts, but it also releases 50 pollution. So I prefer to start with the Green Cities initiatives, and I prefer to go with solar and wind. So we're going to start with 2 wind turbines, and as you can see, I've got power run everywhere. And what I'm going to do is put the industrial area over here. This will all be industrial zoned, and then I'm going to run the highway, continue down, all the way down to around here, and I think we'll run this industrial park all the way around the back of this mountain, this little hill here. And our residential area, as you can see, is these winding roads here. So we'll go ahead and continue eventually the highway all the way around and down and then into this area. Always, like I say in every video, it's nice to take a look at your surroundings on every map whenever you get started. And unfortunately, this map has water access, but it's only on these 3 tiles, which are 8%, 4%, and 21% suitable area for building. So not much land. So it's not the greatest map, because you can't access the ocean from here, which would be good if you could. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and just do a quick episode to show you how to start a city, and start a city with the Sunset DLC. The only thing that we need left to add is the water pumping station, and an exit and water pipes to our fair town. So you can see the river, the arrows pointing down, that's the way the water flows. So we're going to go to the top of the river for our pumping station, and we'll put that there because it's also close to the power. We don't even have to run a power line to that pumping station. And then we need to put an exit. You have a couple options with the DLC. So the original game had a couple options for sewage treatment, the drain pipe or the eco drain pipe. Now with the Sunset Harbor DLC, you have the inland water treatment plant. This is another option as well, but we're going to go with the the eco water exit, water outlet. And we'll put this down here for now. We will eventually move this, and we're going to go ahead and put 2, and I'll show you why. The eco water outlet drains 60,000 per week, and the inlet pumps 120,000 per week. So you need to put down 2 of them to match. Now we are going to run water pipes all over our fair city. This is the industrial zone, this is the residential zone, and on this strip here, we're going to make a main street, and this will all be commercial. As you can see, when starting out your city, you don't have much money. We only started with $70,000, and we have 10 left, which I think we can get all the water pipes in, and we should be good to start the episode. But as you can see, I used a lot of gravel roads because they're a lot cheaper than starting with the regular roads. This, just 2-lane road, is $40 a cell, and the gravel road is only $20. So all of this I did for half the price, and we'll upgrade it later, but it works for now as a placeholder. You can see I didn't bother with the residential areas. I'll go ahead and let them build their houses, and then we won't have to upgrade anything there. So we'll go ahead and run water pipes, and we'll be right back. Okay, and welcome back. As you can see, we don't have enough money to run all of our water pipes, and I forgot to get connected over here. Hang on 1 second. We'll be right back. When you have this problem, you can destroy roads and get a little bit of refund. Now, we're not doing anything over here yet, so we'll go ahead and destroy all of that road. And this was just a placeholder, so we'll go ahead and destroy all of this road as well. And that should give us enough money to run our water pipe over here. All right, there we go. We've got everything connected, all of our water, all of our power. So what I mean by we have power connected is I have strategically ran these power lines to places where we're going to build things first. So you can see our power runs from the main two wind turbines, and it runs down to our residential area. We're going to start with residential. That's the first demand that you have. As you can see in the bottom right-hand corner, the green bar is all the way up. So we're going to start here, and once that comes around, that'll connect to there, and then this power line will connect to our commercial down here. But let's go ahead and play, and I will show you what I mean. So the first thing that we're going to do is zone off some residential demand, and we'll hit play. And let me go ahead and pause it. When you start a game, you want to go to your economy screen by hitting triangle on your PS4 controller, and you want to turn your budgets down. So we don't need as much power as we're producing, and we don't need as much water as we're producing. So we're going to turn both of these down 50%, and then we'll hit play. And we'll move it up to 3 times speed by holding in the L3 button. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a house here to connect all of this, and we'll kick them out later. Hopefully 2 people move there. That's our commercial area, as I've discussed earlier, but we need to connect this power because I'm a dummy and didn't connect it whenever we started the episode. So, once we get a couple houses there, that should connect the power, as you can see here. So now the power is connected down to our water, so we have our pumping stations. Should kick on any second. I see. My apologies, we're not connected there. That's what I meant to do. We'll go to the fill tool. And once we get those houses, my apologies, then all of this will be connected. Alright, now that they've decided to finally build, now all of this power is connected. All of these lines are connected, and our pumping stations, our outlets, should turn on any time here. And there we go. Alright, so they've kicked on. We've got sewage exiting our city. Everything is working just fine. We can go ahead and go back to this screen. We've got industry demand now. So when starting your city, you're first going to get residential demand because people need to move there. They need a place to live. But then once they get there, they go, hey, we need a job and a place to shop. So you can see we have industrial demand now that will answer on this back road here. And they will be connected by the main power. Once that gets filled in, then we can start expanding a little bit more. And this area down here is actually going to all be commercial. This is going to be our main street. And unfortunately, once I get commercial on both sides of this street, I'm going to kick these residents out of here. We'll destroy their homes and de-zone this area from residents. But I needed something to connect the power because we wasted a bunch of money on building these nice roads over here that we didn't necessarily need all that yet. So now we're going to go ahead and zone off some more residential. When you're zoning, you can do 3 options. You can do select tool, which just fills in a little bit. Or you can do fill, which fills in the entire area that you're over. Or you can also do brush, and the brush just paints an area. So all of this is residential. And we'll go ahead and do that, and then we'll fine-tune the things that we missed. And if you have something like this, I'll pause the game real quick so no one moves in. This is going to be removed later. Now, if you have something like this, you can go ahead and destroy this road here, because this road was built first, so it thinks that this zone is more important. But if you destroy that road, it adds this zone as the priority, because then this road is here first, and then you just reconnect it, and then that zone is more residential than it is this road here that we're going to change into a highway. However, we are negative $5,000, as you can see. We are going down $833 every single week, but that is common. That's fine. That's what the game does. Once you start getting residents into your town, then you will start building the funds for taxes. You'll start building tax revenue. And to dezone something, all you have to do is hover over it and hit square on PS4, and it pulls the zone away. Now, that residential area will slowly grow, and we can now... Can we yet? I don't think that's connected. I don't think we can kick these people out yet. We need one more business to move over there. So I'll go to the select tool and dezone all of this so that the next business has to move there. All right, now you can see we have some industrial demand. So we'll go ahead and come back up here, and we'll paint off a little bit more industrial, all on this road here. Now this whole area over here, again, I think in starting this city, if I finish this city, we will take this all the way down, this highway, all the way down where this gravel road is, and we will do a bunch of exits and entrances on and off to this industrial area that will wrap around this ridge and valley over in this area. So it will be everything that outlines the backside of the city and, well, this little town area in the city. And all of this residential area will grow down towards the water down here. Again, it's nice to pre-plan and take a look around and get ready for what you want to do in the build. And make sure you have a plan and know what you're going to do. Now, as you can see, we're still losing money. We're down $7,000. We have a lot more industrial demand. We're down $7,000, so we'll go ahead and zone off all of this and just let them freeform. Get on them there. We're down $7,000, however, we're now only losing $145. Now, in the beginning of the game, you can't adjust your taxes yet. Everything's locked at 9%. At the next milestone that we hit, the first one is Little Hamlet at 400 population. At this milestone, then you can adjust your taxes, and you can also take out a bank loan. The bank loan, everything over here, everything is in the economy screen. The bank loans from Silver Sunset Bank, the first bank loan that you can take is $20,000 at a 5% interest rate. After that, the few milestones later, then you can take out this one and a few more, that one. Now we're having electric problems, so you can go to your info screen and you can check out how your water and electric is doing. We're still pumping way more water than we need. And for electric, we are producing just the minimum. So we need to go to our budget and turn up the electric. We'll put this up to about 60, and that should do it for now. That puts us at 5. You don't want to turn that all the way up because you are losing money. And you don't want to be wasting money on electric that no one's using. So we still have plenty of residential filled in. So we're just waiting on residents to move to our nice little town. And as you can see, there's a lot more curves in this area because this is going to be around the highway. This residential area, this is going to be around the highway. And then this is more of a grid form because this is going to run, this highway I think is going to run straight in this little valley here next to these mountains and in between the valley and the mountains. So I'm going to kind of run this next to the highway all the way down. And we need more electric adjusted. So go to your economy screen. We'll turn this up to 75. Hopefully it doesn't bother us for a little bit. And that should do it. Now we have a little bit more residential demand, but you can see in the bottom right hand screen, there's a little bit of green and no commercial and no industrial. And that is all there is to building a city. This is how to start a city. Again, we're going to stretch this main road here. This will be Main Street, and it'll run all the way down. And as we buy more and more tiles, we'll add more and more commercial to this. But this is going to run all the way down. That'll be the Main Street, and we'll build residents over in this area on the water, and on this side of it, and then we'll have another highway here. So you want to keep your industrial separate from your residential because your industrial pollutes. If you go to your info views, you can go down to the pollution screen and you can see already this whole area is getting pollution. You can see the smokestacks working. So you want to keep that away from your residents. You don't want them breathing that air or drinking water from that area. A good buffer is actually the commercial zone, but what we've decided to do is a buffer of the highway. So the highway is going to run all the way around, and on the left side of the highway, left and north side of the highway, will be all of the industrial. So all of the residents will be here, and then the commercial will be here. Now, the industrial trucks need to get to the commercial zone to deliver goods, so you don't want that necessarily clogging up the traffic for your area. You don't want too many trucks in that area, so you want to keep the commercial zone kind of separate from your residents as well, but accessible. They need to go shopping. So we're at 397. We are about to hit our milestone of 400 population. We have now reached a little hamlet, and you can adjust your taxes, you can adjust loans, you can now implement new services, you can add education, garbage, and healthcare. It gives you landfill site, medical clinic, elementary school, recycling center, and community school, which is kind of similar to an elementary school. Now, if you don't know how to play the game and you just bought it, explore the channel. We have a Let's Play series as well. However, we're going to continue this video with the next map in the Sunset Harbor DLC. This is a nice way to start the city, and as I said, I kind of like this map. I do have some plans for this map. I may come back and finish this map later. But for right now, that reaches us to the first milestone. Let's go to the next map. And we are at Crater Falls, the next city on the map for the Sunset DLC. This is a nice little map. However, it doesn't have connections to the ocean. That's the only problem, but it is pretty cool. I like this map. I wouldn't mind building on this map. It has a nice little valley in the middle, surrounded by mountains all around you, and rivers, streams everywhere. Now, we've already built everything, since you already know how to play the game from the first introduction. So this is the first residence. They've already moved in, and this is them coming home. And now we have got a lot of industry demand and a lot of commercial demand. So we're going to settle our industry with over in this area. And we'll start with that. My idea, so this map actually has 2 highway entrances to the first tile that you have. So what I'm thinking is putting another highway exit here. Maybe not a cloverleaf junction, but just a man-made highway exit once we get enough population to gain to that milestone. However, it might be more down towards this area. So we're going to do our industry over in this area, and then what I'm thinking is have a polluting industry in this area, old school industry, standard industry, in that area, and then over in this area have all of this be farmland, and everything on the back side over here have some residential housing. And I'm thinking of doing gravel roads and kind of, country area, which is exactly what we've done over here where we've started our town. These are all gravel roads in a country area with woods all around them. And I might change these and do it over here, or I might do this entire little section all in gravel roads, but all of this is going to be farmland, so I'm thinking all of this is going to be gravel roads once we get to that. The water intake and drainage are over in this area, and they've got their own power, and it is not connected to the other power. The other power is up here. There wasn't much for wind power, but there was a couple little hills where there was 8 megawatts of power produced. So we've got this not connected with the grid. So we're producing a lot of electric that we don't necessarily need, but we'll connect it later, and for right now it's fine. I did do this city very cheaply. Got everything in here, and this is our residential area, this is our industrial area, and this is our commercial area. Now you can see, I'm going to go ahead and pause the game. We have a lot of demand for both industrial and commercial, but we're going to go ahead and save it here and move to the next map. For our third map on the DLC, this is Desert Oasis, and as you can see, it is a desert oasis. It's a valley in the middle of a bunch of mountains and hills in a desert. Not necessarily a map that I would typically pick, however, not that bad. It does have a long highway coming as the entrance, so I went ahead and just past here, just past this T-junction, it gets pretty hilly. That's where our wind power turbines are. So I went ahead and put a T-junction here, and eventually I would like to make that T-junction a highway T-junction and just extend the highway down to here and then make it a T-junction. And everything to the right will be the industry, and everything to the left would be residential all the way up to the hills. And with this long highway coming into the town, you could put a couple more junctions before you get over here all the way around there for that clover leaf. You could put probably 2, maybe even 3 more junctions right there. So with this flat map, because we're in the valley on this portion, I went ahead and just did a grid pattern. As you can see, it's all just standard grid, did it very quickly. On this map, we utilized the wind turbines up on the hill over there. We also, because it's a desert oasis, had no other option for water supply, so we utilized the water treatment plant over in this area. It's down at the end of the road. And we implemented a water tower in this town. So the first thing that you come into off the highway that you see will be the water tower supplying the town's water. There's no other options for water other than this little oasis over on this corner of the map where we're going to build our forestry industry. Again, if you haven't played the game before, I wanted to show a little bit of progress. So we have already passed the first milestone, which was Little Hamlet, and we've covered that one before. This is now Worthy Village with it we're coming up to. We are 10 people away from reaching a population of 1,000, and that would give us a new 2 by 2 kilometer area of land. And then it would give us our second bank loan, and then we could implement districts and policies, give us fire and police, and then it'd also give us agricultural and forestry specialization. And that is just 10 away. We're going to go ahead and hit play. I've just built this residential area down here, this little extension. So what I'm thinking... Here, I'll go ahead and hit pause while we cover this. So what I'm thinking is put a T highway intersection here, all of the industrial over here, and this would be all of the standard industrial. And down here, this is pretty nice area of forestry next to this little oasis here. So turn this into a forestry area. It's a renewable package with the industries DLC. And turn all that into forest and keep all the pollution over here. And keep this entire right-hand side exit off the highway. This is all of your big trucks. As far as this side... it comes straight down, and at some point we'd have to put maybe a roundabout or another junction. But this, it just turns into Main Street as of for right now. This Main Street right here is where all of the commercial is, and down here is where all the residential is. So that's kind of what I'm thinking, and this is one of the main arteries to get through into your little cubicle area. And we just built another cubicle area over here, so we'll go ahead and hit play, and we should reach this milestone at the... in a couple seconds. But we also have the elementary school. We've put that down in this area. It has 165 students out of 300. And we've also added the medical clinic. Both of these were unlocked at this last milestone, and I figured I'd show you what they are if you don't know already. And I think we've put down one more thing, but I don't remember. Maybe not. Sorry about the dog barking. Cats and dogs fighting. Now we've reached Worthy Village, 1,000 population. Now we can buy another tile of land. We can take out second loans. We can also implement new policies like power usage, water usage, and smoke detector distribution. We have covered those in many multiple other Let's Play series, so we'll go ahead and advance to the next map. I just wanted to show you the area. And it obviously you have 9 tiles. It's quite big area, but it's got a lot of mountains, so a lot of it would be valley. So maybe if you did something like a winding map that kind of followed the highway and the interstates, I don't know what I would do here necessarily. For number 4 on the Sunset Harbor DLC, we have Fisherman's Enclave. It is a nice little map. It does not have routes to the ocean. It's just a big lake town. However, a lot of fishing, I'm assuming. I haven't unlocked that yet. We just passed the milestone of Little Hamlet, so just the first stage. I'm going to go ahead and show you what we have now, and I'm going to put up a picture of what the map started like. This is just a quick screenshot. And we have already reached the milestone of 300, and this is our, we'll go ahead and hit play. This is our residential area that we've built right off the highway. It's an interesting little map. I went ahead and put the commercial down here. So as you've seen in the still shot, the original map had all of this. So I just incorporated it into the road layout and put a giant roundabout right next to it instead of getting rid of it. Might as well use what you got. Now this map has a lot of industry, and even just on the first tile. So I went ahead and put regular industry down here, and this is where our sewage treatment, water treatment plant is. But it's also got a lot of forestry here. Very heavy, not a lot, but it's got very heavy forestry there. It's got oil up there that's off this tile. It's got oil down here. It's got a lot of farmland over here. And I'm not positive if we do continue this build what exactly I'd do, but I'm thinking right now, initially, off this roundabout, have this junction come this way. You've got a residential area over here, and then you can do agricultural right here and make a bunch of farmland. And then down in this area, you could come in and at least strip out this oil before you did anything else with it. But you could even make a little forestry industry over here. It's definitely enough to do something with. But interesting little map. I just wanted to show you the fourth map, and these are all the available tiles. You can see it doesn't have... Oh, sorry, this one does have ocean connections. I'm incorrect in that. Yes, this one does have ocean connections. This one doesn't have railways. Is that what it is? Yes, this one doesn't have railways. I apologize. Yes. So it doesn't have railways, but it does have ocean connections. This is a large fishing industry. Makes some more sense. Sorry. This one does not have any rail lines, though, but it's a very interesting map. It's a lot of rough terrain. If you go to your info view, I can show you the terrain. It's a lot of pits and holes. I'm wondering about this over here, if this fills in, or if maybe we could fill it in. That would be a nice little area for a lake. It's clearly dried out now, but if you build up a wall, or just build up the landscape on that what would be here north side, and fill that in with water with a fresh water outlet, it may be a nice little lake area. Anyway, so that is it for Fisherman's Enclave. This is map 4 on the Sunset Harbor DLC, and let's go to map number 5. Harbor DLC, we have Swamplands. It's kind of cool little map. On this first tile that you start out with, it's just got a river wrapping around this whole area, and it's got just one highway junction coming into it. So it would be a pain, but you'd have to bring a highway down from up here, following this railroad track, and maybe come in down here and kind of loop all this in. But to start looking at it, you can see that it has a lot of farmland right here in the middle. So I just went ahead and took the highway straight down, and it runs into the main road here. Over in this area, we have our industrial area. It's just a small little square. I don't plan on keeping too much of it, because at the next milestone, we can unlock... Sorry, this milestone, 800 population. We can unlock the agricultural specialization, and we can make all of that farmland. So then we'd probably get rid of all of this industry here. We do, however, on this map, use the power plant, because there is no wind at all on this map. This is the windsock. You can see everything. It's all white. There's no wind at all, so we did use the power plant on this one, and we've covered that in the first part. It's right here. This is the coal power plant, and it produces 40 megawatts per week, I believe. Anyway, and this is our residential area, just kind of hugging the shoreline over here. Figure eventually I'd put a bunch of fishing piers over here on the side. But the highway just comes straight into town and stops right here. And that's because I'm thinking if I'd continue this, we would cut this entire intersection off. And this would be the main road coming down, and that would be Main Street, and that would separate all of this residential from the industry. That would be all of this farmland, and eventually all of the outer area would be residential, for this little village, and then this highway would come straight in and probably put a cloverleaf intersection right there. Make all of the area around the cloverleaf intersection all farmland, and a couple junctions for trucks to get on and off without messing with the traffic for the population, and then continue the highway down here to get to the next tile. But that is all 6 of the maps for the Sunset Harbor DLC. In the comments below, let me know what map you want me to continue. The next Let's Play series is going to be one of these maps off of here. Just put a comment in below and I will oblige. Thank you very much for joining us here at CCSC. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so that you get notifications every time I upload a video. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.